You step inside, close the door. The noise of the store disappears. There's a turntable, a pair of headphones, and a stack of records you've never heard before. You sit down, drop the needle, and for the next 20 minutes, you're in your own world. This was the listening booth. In the 1970s and 80s, every record store worth visiting had them. Free. No obligation to buy. Just listen. Today, they've almost completely disappeared. This is the story of the listening booth, the magical little room where you discovered your favorite album, and why we miss them. Over the next 10 minutes, you're going to discover why record stores built tiny soundproof rooms just for you, how Tower Records turned listening booths into an art form, the moment when trying before buying became the best part of record shopping, and the surprising places where listening booths are making a comeback. But here's the amazing part. Listening booths didn't disappear because they stopped working. They're coming back in unexpected ways. Let's start with why they existed in the first place. Think about it. You're walking into a record store in 1970. Albums cost $5, $6, $7. That's $40 to $50 in today's money. You want to try something new. But what if you hate it? That's a lot of money to waste. That's why record stores built listening booths, small soundproof rooms, usually wood-paneled. Some had windows so staff could see you were okay. Others were completely private. Inside, a turntable, headphones, sometimes a chair, sometimes just a stool. Here's how it worked. You'd grab a few albums off the shelf, walk up to the counter. Can I listen to these? Booth 3 is open. No charge, no time limit, no pressure to buy. You'd sit down, put on the headphones, and disappear into the music. That moment when the needle drops and you hear something that blows your mind, that's what listening booths were for. Tower Records perfected the listening booth experience. Their stores had dozens of them. Clean, well-maintained, comfortable. The staff would bring you recommendations. If you like that, try this. And here's the beautiful part. It worked. People who used listening booths bought more music, not less. Why? Because they knew exactly what they were getting. No buyer's remorse, no disappointment, just pure discovery. By the 1980s, every major record store had listening booths. Virgin megastores, HMV independent stores. Even small shops carved out space for at least one or two. Some stores made them fancy, others kept them simple, but they all served the same purpose. Let people fall in love with music before they buy it. The listening booth wasn't just practical, it was magical. Outside the booth, noise, other shoppers, fluorescent lights, distractions. Inside the booth, silence. Just you and the music. For 20 minutes, you weren't in a store. You were transported. Jazz, rock, classical, hip-hop, punk, whatever you chose. And when you found something that spoke to you, that feeling was real, unmediated, personal. Teenagers found their identity in those booths. College students explored genres they'd never heard of. Even longtime music lovers took chances they wouldn't take at home. Because here's the thing, it was safe. No one was judging you. No one was rushing you. If you didn't like it, you just handed it back. But when you did like it, you didn't just buy that album. You bought 3 more the staff recommended. You left with a bag full of new music and stories to tell. You have to hear this. I just discovered them. That's what listening booths gave us. Not just music, but discovery, connection, joy. Of course, maintaining listening booths wasn't easy. Headphones wore out. Turntables needed maintenance. Someone had to clean the booths, organize the records, make sure everything worked. Albums got scratched, sometimes damaged. It cost money, time, space. But it was worth it. Because it worked. Then came CDs. Good news. CDs made listening stations easier. No turntables to maintain, no needles to replace. Just headphone jacks and CD players. Tower Records built listening bars, rows of CD players where you could sample anything in the store. Even better than before. You could try 5 albums in the time it took to listen to one on vinyl. Late 1990s, the peak. Stores packed. Listening stations full. Music discovery at its height. Then digital happened. Not as a catastrophe, just as a change. Why go to a store to sample music when you can sample it at home? 30-second previews. Then full songs on demand. then entire albums on Spotify. As stores closed in the 2000s, listening booths went with them. Not because they failed, just because the world changed. And for a while, it seemed like they were gone forever. But then, something unexpected happened. Around 2010, something started changing. Young people started buying vinyl, not because they remembered it, because they discovered it was better. The artwork, the liner notes, the ritual of putting on a record. Record Store Day launched in 2007. By 2010, it was huge. People lining up, not out of nostalgia, out of genuine love for the format. And as independent record stores started reopening, listening booths came back. Amoeba Music in Hollywood, beautiful listening stations, multiple booths, well-maintained, better than ever. Rough Trade in Brooklyn, sleek, modern listening booths designed for the Instagram age. Even small indie stores, adding 1 or 2 booths, making them special. And in Japan, Tower Records never left. Their Shibuya location has multiple floors of listening booths, pristine, popular, packed. Not just for older people, young people, kids, everyone. The UK HMV brought back listening stations in flagship stores. Europe, Fnac stores maintaining listening areas as premium features. And here's where it gets cool. Modern listening booths are better. Touchscreen catalogs. Browse the entire store inventory from the booth. Bluetooth headphones, no tangled cords, comfortable seating, good lighting, even USB charging ports. Some have QR codes so you can save what you listen to and buy it later. Staff recommendations integrated right into the digital interface. The 1970s booth, simple, analog, warm. The 2025 booth, high-tech, comfortable, but still warm. Same purpose, better execution. You might be wondering, why do listening booths still matter in the age of Spotify? You've got 50 million songs in your pocket, unlimited streaming. But here's the problem. Too much choice is paralyzing. Algorithms recommend based on what you already like. They keep you in a bubble. The listening booth forces you to commit. You pick 3 albums, you carry them to the booth, you sit down, and you listen. Really listen. Not as background music, not while scrolling your phone. Just you and the music. And when a human, not an algorithm, hands you something unexpected, that discovery hits different. You can talk about it, ask questions, get context. You build relationships. You become a regular. The store becomes your place. And here's the beautiful thing. Young people get it. Gen Z, the generation that grew up with streaming, loves listening booths. They post about them, make it an event, appreciate the ritual. Because sometimes the old way is better, not out of nostalgia, just because it works. So where can you find listening booths today? They're not everywhere, but they're not extinct either. Amoeba Music, Hollywood, San Francisco, Berkeley. Multiple booths in each location. Rough Trade, Brooklyn, and London. Modern, beautiful, free to use. Independent stores across the country, adding them back, 1 or 2 at a time. Record Store Day events. Many stores set up temporary booths for the occasion. Japan, Europe, UK, still standard in many stores. And if your local record store doesn't have one, ask them about it. Some are bringing them back based on customer interest. The vinyl resurgence is real. The customers are there. And listening booths? They're part of the comeback. The listening booth didn't survive because it was efficient. Streaming is more efficient, more convenient, more choice. The listening booth survived because it offers something streaming can't. Intentionality, human connection, the full album experience, discovery that feels earned. And here's the amazing part. They're coming back, not everywhere, but enough places that you can still find them, still use them, still discover your next favorite album in them, still build relationships with the people who care about music as much as you do. The technology changed, the format evolved, but the magic, that stayed the same. If this video made you smile or made you want to find a listening booth near you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories about the things that made life special, the things we're bringing back, and leave a comment. Have you used a listening booth? What album did you discover there? Because those stories, they're magic, and they're still happening right now.